as Alex mentioned, we're starting on a series of webinars on Instant JChem now, where we're breaking it up into a number of topics, because the overall functionality is too much to deal with in any one particular webinar. So we're breaking it down subject area by subject area. And the topic of today's conversation is basically using Instant JChem in a multi-user environment. Now, the expectation here is that you're probably already an Instant JChem user. You're probably using the local database. You probably got pretty familiar with the functionality within the local database, and you're ready to move on to using it in a shared environment where you want to put your data into a central MySQL or Oracle database and allow multiple users to access that at the same time. And this is something that we haven't really covered that much in the demos up to now. It's usually much easier to demo things in a local database, and so that's typically what we do, and we haven't really covered the multi-user features in as much detail as perhaps we should have done, because they're obviously important for most organizations who are wanting to share data. So what we're really looking at here is the switch from using a local database like this orange one I've got in the project manager to this green colored one, which represents a MySQL database that could be sitting somewhere on your network. And what we're going to cover is setting up the connection to that database, setting up the security, setting up the users, and things like that. And this is a list of the topics that we're hopefully going to get through. I'm hopefully going to take maybe half an hour to go through these features, and then we can have some questions at the end. But if there are any burning issues as I go through, then please do raise the question in the GoToMeeting question box, and Alex will interrupt me, I hope, and ask about the specific question.
I think I'll just shunt them all to the end, Tim. Leave them all at the end.
Yep. So first, we're going to start with how to actually make this connection to a database, and then once we've got the connection set up, we're going to have a very quick look at how you can manage the contents of that database using the schema editor. Then we'll move on to how you can set up security in the database so that you have some control over the access people have to it. We'll see how you can add and administer users in the system. And then finally we'll finish off with a couple of more sort of fine-grained sort of security issues, such as how you can restrict access to particular tables and columns. So this would be column level privileges, and then finally a feature we added recently which lets you actually control the security based on the row level as well, so you can control, let's say, which structures a particular chemist is allowed to see based on, let's say, what projects they belong to.